Hello YouTube and welcome to, that was so corny, that wave, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. But hello YouTube, hi YouTube, welcome to another episode of Charity Unscripted. My clapperboard, y'all know my clapperboard is broken and I just didn't even want to, I'm gonna get a new clapperboard. But we're back with another episode of Charity Unscripted. I know I've been missing, and I know a lot of my videos start off with me talking about me being missing, but honestly, a lot has happened. Like, I've been wanting to get back into being consistent for y'all. For y'all, I've been really wanting to get back and being consistent, and I even filmed this video a long time ago, but I wasn't happy with how it came out, so I wanted to refilm it. And also, if y'all see this video and I haven't posted a video before this being a get ready with me, that means that the footage was actually unable for me to edit. Like, I had technical difficulties with my get ready with me footage, and if I can't salvage it, then I won't be able to post it. But honestly, I've had like a very big update. You know, I started a new semester in August. I know it's October, but okay. Started a new job. I was on a whole bunch of job interviews, and then I ended up getting a job. It's in before and after school care. And the same week, I started an internship with Joyful Noise. It's a faith-based company in Florida. They do like Christian parties, Christian clubs, that type of thing. And I'm an intern there, you know, I have an internship there. It's just a lot of things have been happening, and I haven't been able to get back into the swing of Charity Unscripted, but here I am, and I'm here to talk about the god-awful Greenleafs. That's what I call them, but I'm here to talk about the Greenleafs, you know. I'm really only making this video for one person. Hey, Brian, hey, I know you're watching. I'm really only making this video for him, but also, over the summer, I watched Greenleaf. School year, end of last school year into the summer, me and my sister started watching Greenleaf, and it was honestly the first show I ever watched that I didn't like. Like, if I don't like a show, I'm not gonna continue with it. But the fact that I had to see how it ended, and I really wanted to finish Greenleaf, but from the first episode, I didn't like it. This was the first show I watched that I knew I didn't like. Like, I just don't like it. But I think it was time in my black cinema journey to watch it. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about the god awful Greenleafs and each character, give my opinions, how I think maybe the storyline should have been. But yeah, we gonna start. So what I did was I made a chart of all the Greenleafs, and I have it set up by season. So I'm gonna talk about each character and their season, and if I jump around, hopefully the reason for the way I made the chart was to not jump around, but I have like the name and then the season and what I think about each season. So we're gonna start off with, of course, Bishop, my dog. Okay, season 1. I noticed that anytime Bishop was happy or things were going good for my man Bishop, he will always have on purple, and that continued throughout the show for Bishop. And I never really had no problems with Bishop. Like, Bishop was really trying to do the best he could with the cards he was dealt. Those cards being his kids. Those cards being like his family members, his kids. Yeah, like, he really was doing the best he could with what he had. Like, he wasn't dealt no, like, for real hand. I skipped to season 3 because that's when he was trying to get with Rochelle. He was done with May. There was a lot of times that Bishop was done with May. He just couldn't take it no more. Well in his right. But he loved May. Like, he couldn't, even though he really didn't like her. For real, in some instances. He loved her. That's why he couldn't go through with it with Rochelle and, you know, just in general. He always made his way back to Lady May, you know. Y'all know. And then season 5, RP Bishop. Like, Bishop, like, he was probably the least I'm not gonna say the least problematic because yes, Bishop had his issues. Yes, Bishop had his storylines. But when I started writing this out, I just didn't have nothing for Bishop. This video really not for Bishop. Like, since I'm talking about everybody, I wanted to talk on him, but this video not for Bishop. Lady May. Like, oh my goodness. Lady May hated Grace come season 1. Like, talk about just mean energy, snot, like little slight comments, just the whole nine. And it's like, Lynn Whitfield, we've been like this for a long time. You don't have to always do the angry role. You don't always have to be typecast as rich, good with words, and just sometimes evil, just sometimes mean. Season 2 Lady May, like, OMG, Season 2 Lady May hated Grace. Like, calling out Grace each and every chance she got for going out with Rick Fox, like that was unnecessary. And Season 3 May knew she was shamed, like, when everything came out about Grace not being Bishop's daughter, like, Lady May knew she was shamed. That's why she was hating on Grace, because Grace always reminded her of her past, like her biggest mistake. But it's like, why take that out on her? And you know, the thing with Lady May's storyline is that she was representing, I guess she was trying to represent like those women that just had to fall in line behind a man. And since she was a first lady, she obviously had to fall behind her man, the pastor, Bishop. So she didn't really get to do everything she wanted. So when she started trying to like go out on her own and stuff, she with Patti LaBelle and them, like she trying to, stand on her own 2 feet. She wanted to take over the church forever and ever and ever. Lady May wanted to take over the church. So I just feel like, that was a good little storyline. She could have went about it like a few different ways. A lot of Lady May's storylines and situations is just her as a character. She could have went about things in different ways, but that was just who she are. As my dear grandmother, my dear big mama would say, like, that's just who she are. And it's not really anything we can do to fix that. I forgot Patti LaBelle was on here, and I love days with Lady May. Like, she always came dressed nice, always gave a good little message, always had the women set nice. Like, everything was decorated real nice, because it's like, Lady May gotta wait one day a year, like one weekend, to just be her. Like, she gotta be first lady every other day, every other time. And I do want to touch on Lady May. I do want to touch on her being a little slow with her brother. Like, you telling me you ain't have a little inkling? Like, you telling me you didn't feel no type of energy that he was doing what he was doing? I just don't believe that. And like she said, like, she did acknowledge at some point that she was like, did I just like erase it? Did I just like pretend not to see it? Did I just push it down because I had all this other stuff in my brain? That could definitely be the point. But it's like, you can't say, oh, we didn't know, or oh, you just can't. You just can't. Like, they just let the behavior go on for so long, and they just never knew his whereabouts for real. Like, just on that weird tip. And when we learned about Oprah and Bishop, when we learned about Oprah and Bishop, I was like, where is the holiness in this show? Where is it? Because I'm looking for it. Because I know I was looking for it. I didn't see it. That was so messy. But I don't know if they was just trying to show how it was back in the day. I don't know. But like, Lady May, like, I don't know, she had like a crisis situation. What was that? There was something happening. She went to like a bar. She missed her friend or something, or she did her friend dirty or something. She had like, Lady May has some crisis situations. But one thing I lived for, aside from Lady Day with Lady May, one thing I lived for was when she had Bible study with her grandkids. One thing she never played about was early morning Bible study. And I lived for that. I lived for all the moments. Her grandkids needed it. Her churn needed it too, but they was grown. She couldn't really force them for real. Now we moving on to Jacob. This is loaded. This is loaded. Okay, like there are layers, there are levels to Jacob as a character, but I'm gonna talk about the main thing, the main dish, the main dish. Jacob, you had zero business sleeping with your daddy assistant. During praise and worship, like you ain't have no business sleeping with her anyway. But during praise and worship, though, like something I like to call overly going. Overly going. Like that was unnecessary. During praise and worship, like no, 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 no. And this is where things started to get a little blurry because so much happened. I can't remember if he kissed Tasha in season 2 or in season 3. But after they kissed, that's when he realized that he needed to be a husband and father. So maybe it was season 3 because I feel like it took him a good little minute to get to being a true husband and a father. Because when they went to therapy, bro, when him and what's her name, Carissa, when they went to therapy, that was like pure comedy. Low key, like that was just pure comedy. And Jacob was right for the divorce. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. When Jacob asked for the divorce, I can't hate him in that situation. I just can't. He was doing everything to better his family, better his marriage. He was trying to make Carissa happy, and she is a hard person to make happy. Obviously, they got divorced. He couldn't fulfill it, but I just feel like he was right in that situation, and yeah, that's just me. Oh, and also something that was never talked about. Whatever the assistant name is, when he met up with the assistant again in season 5 and she had that mixed baby with her, that's his baby. I'm sorry. Cause she never told him like how old she was, so then he could in his head figure out the timeline. That's his kid. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. And then in the last episode, cause see, this is the thing. In the last season, he talked to all his little people. He talked to the secretary, him daddy assistant, and then he go back to Tasha again. And they had a little flirting situation. Then in the last episode, he flirted with the pastor that they collaborated with, or who was the rightful owner to the house. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know. I don't know with Jacob. But I'm on his side when it comes to the divorce. And I do feel like I don't know, y'all. I don't know. He was just trying to do what he was outside and then he wasn't. And I was supporting him not being outside no more. That's it. That's all I got. Grace. This video is about Grace. Well, let me say this. In the first episode, because that's another thing, Jacob. First episode, you was having relations with your daddy assistant during praise and worship. First episode, that was a lot for me. That was a lot for the audience. That scene is a big reason why this show had became the god awful Greenleafs. In my book, the rest of the reason was because of Grace. Grace, you actually had no business with Noah. Same as Jacob had no business with him, daddy assistant. You actually had zero business being with Noah. Like that was very annoying for me. Grace and Noah, that was very annoying for me. Actually, because I really, real deal, wanted to see him get married. Like, I was ready to go to the royal wedding, the church wedding, and I was ready to see it on the Greenleaf property. Like, I was excited about being a guest. I didn't get that. And also when Noah's wife or fiance at the time found out about what happened, and he was like, "What do I do?" And Grace was like, "Oh, this really don't got nothing to do with me." No. This actually has everything to do with you. Like, this actually has everything to do with you, Grace. Like, please, let's not do this right now. Like that, it's blowing me right now. Because it take two to tango. This man's life is falling apart. He between the woman that he set out to marry and the girl that he fell in love with way back when. Who came back and still was trying to like go with it. Who was still trying to tango, I should say. Grace, please, Grace. And season 2, Grace, like, okay, we know Mac did something terrible, but he's out now. Like, you're stalking him at this point. He now the victim. Like, that was getting annoying. I was sick and tired of seeing her at that man's apartment. I'm not trying to see that. Like, no, Grace, no. She really was bothering him. And when she started dating Rick, I loved Rick Scott compared to Noah because he wasn't Noah. And if my memory serves me correctly, he wasn't trying to play none of Grace's games. Oh yeah, season 3, Grace found out about her pappy. And you know, that wasn't the cutest of moments. That wasn't the cutest of moments for her. But hey, she started making sense of things. Do I think it was messy that Bishop wasn't Grace's biological father? Yes. Do I think it's real messy that it turned out his favorite kid was not actually biologically his? Yes. I think that's real deal messy. Whoever's in the writer's room, like, actually, can y'all email me? Can y'all reach out to me? I just want to, like, sometimes when you watch shows, you just need to understand why. Who came up with that and who greenlit it? Oprah? I don't know. That was messy. God was not in that. God was not. There was no Jesus in that. So there's a line that Rochelle tells Grace where she says, I know what happened in Phoenix. And 2 seconds after she said that line, me and my sister turned to each other and said, what happened in Phoenix? That has become a quote of ours. Anytime we don't know what the T is, we like, wait, what happened in Phoenix? So we found out what happened in Phoenix. It was AJ. Hey, my zoo. But thanks a lot, Grace. Thanks a whole lot for hurting, ruining Noah's life. Again. Like, maybe instead of sleeping with him the week before his wedding, you should have told him he was a pappy. You should have told him, oh yeah, you remember when we was like, when we went together way back when? Yeah, a baby was actually the product of that. And that baby was in and out the foster care system. Grace. And then, one thing I noticed, do I have closing remarks at the bottom? No, I don't. One thing I noticed, what my closing remarks, I'm going to just say my closing remarks about Grace while I'm doing this. One thing I noticed about Grace's storyline is she comes in, she gets introduced to the show in a car looking at her family's property, and she leaves the show in a car looking at her family's property. I don't know if that's supposed to show her growth. I don't know, like, if that's supposed to show she healed, like she had to come back home to heal. I mean, obviously she came back home and found out her lineage, her true lineage. She learned some things. She got some closure on some things, but I do not care for Grace. I really don't like Grace. I don't like her decision-making skills. So I don't really, I'm gonna just say I noticed that. I would like to know exactly what the writers and the directors felt that was going to add to the story. Like, do they think Grace really did something? Like, do they think Grace really healed from coming back home? Like 100%. Like, she gained closure on some things for sure. But growth? I don't know. Maybe I just don't like Grace. Maybe I'm giving her too much. But I really don't think so. And now we're moving on to Charity Greenleaf. Her first few episodes about her is that she just want to preach so bad. And this theme continues throughout the entire show. Your daddy was right though. You wasn't ready. And it didn't seem like you was ever ready throughout the show. to preach. Season 2, she's with that music guy, and she was giving pick me, like she was giving like pick me. It wasn't cute, and no. Then she was with Phil. Biggest eye roll with Phil. Like, he gave her a smidge of attention, and she just, I guess, yeah, I felt like Charity was slow. Like, she just had to be in a relationship. I needed her to heal from her marriage, from losing a child, from the music guy, like all of that stuff. Like, whatever maybe she got daddy issues. Like, maybe that's it. And y'all remember when she was on them pills? So blue, so blue. Lady May got on her about that. So blue. And I genuinely hate that me and this character share a name, because she's giving Charity's a bad name. Like, I just hated it. Like, oh, like, she making it seem like we just slow. We're not. Only thing I gotta say about Faith is, why didn't they believe her? Or why did they believe? Because she said something, and then like she backtracked. So I don't really know why they didn't still take what happened seriously. Like, I don't know. They said they did take it seriously, but in the same breath, it seems like they was very careless about this situation. Yeah, it seemed like they was very careless about the whole situation. And I loved her little videos with the little saints. That was cute. Good way to remember her by. Carissa. Very annoying, very old. And that's not really even to diss the actor, like, but it's like she looks significantly older than Jacob. So I just wanted to know if that was part of their storyline. I just wanted to know if like casting wanted an older looking woman. Like, I'm not even trying to diss the actor for real. It's just like, she does look significantly older than him. And I don't know if it's because she's just so mean. She might like she might look older than she is because she's just so mean. Ugh. And she was a very interesting first lady. Like, season 2, season 3, I think, when they did their own church, when they left the church and they made their own church, and she was the first lady, that was a real interesting time for her. I was begging for her outfits to get better. And that was the other thing. She was dressing like a granny. She was dressing like somebody granny. The costume department did her dirty, because she really probably could have looked like younger if they dressed her younger. They dressed her in these granny outfits. Her wardrobe was more old lady than Lady May's. What is that? What was that? I need somebody from the show to reach out. I don't know if it's Oprah herself, somebody. I think that she's just annoying. Season 5, Carissa is annoying. Like, I understand that Jacob dogged her out all them years, over and 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 over again. But he never brought nothing home. And y'all was doing good. Like, and y'all was doing good for the first time, like, ever. Like, ever. I feel like they needed more backstory. Like, we needed to see them in their college days, or like, because they met in college. We needed to see them when they was like newly married. I just doesn't know what needed to happen. I feel like we needed a backstory, because I needed to see what made them fall in love to the point where they got married. Because I feel like Carissa talked about how her dad was like, oh, you got a Greenleaf, you need to lock in with him. So I feel like maybe she was pressured into it, but in the same breath, she would have had to like him enough to even consider that. Like, even consider marriage. You know? I only got one thing to say about Kevin, is he really didn't have to get Charity pregnant if he was just gonna leave. But R.I.P. to their son. You know, they was supposed to have twins, then their son passed away. Noah is unhelpful in every way. His character in season 1, I feel like, was unhelpful. Because he was head of security, but everybody conveniently made their way on the property. Like, there's no security. Like, even first season, everybody was on the property. Everybody snuck on. Not even snuck on. They probably just drove right through. Like, nobody was. It was very easy to get on the Greenleaf property. Let me just say that. I literally wrote down for Noah season 4 that Noah just might be a scrub. Like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I wrote that, but I still feel the same. Like, I don't know why I would say scrub. But I just, okay. I just don't care for Noah and his storyline with Grace. And I feel like when Noah in season 5 said that he was gonna move out to wherever the show takes place so he could be close to his son, it took him mad long to get out there. Like, it's just we're gonna talk about Sophia. I don't really have nothing for Sophia season 1, but season 2, when her pappy came on screen, I was like kind of shocked. Like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting a white man. Like, I don't know, but she was cute with the little saints. And what happened to Roberto? Like, she was with him, and then she wasn't. I ain't seen no breakup. I feel like her and Roberto really could have had like a steady relationship. They could have taken over the church later on, like if they wanted to do that, you know. And her basketball boyfriend storyline really did me in. Cause it's like you get, I think it was an NBA player, and you just wild out. Like, wild out. Like, you sending pictures, you doing this, like, you laying with him, this and that and the third. Like, I just really wasn't expecting that for her. And, like, I just thought she was smarter than that. Like, we expect that from Zora. We don't expect that from you, Sophie. I was a little disappointed in that storyline. Because I feel like she could have went farther, you know? Now, Zora. The first episode, we smoking, and we introducing our cousin to that on the grounds. And that's why I feel like Noah is unhelpful, because you didn't realize that. You don't have people driving around the property checking. Unhelpful, just useless, just unhelpful. And Zora, out of all the men you could possibly be with, you want to be with a Christian Chris Brown? And then you're going to drag this storyline into next season. Now, let me say this. There was a reason why me and my sister started watching Greenleaf. And it is because we had consistently been seeing the clips from the cotillion they had. When the dude slapped Zora and then it all comes out at the cotillion. I've seen that clip so many times. And we was like, you know what, let's just watch it so we can get the context behind it. That scene, we were like, okay, y'all, it's about to happen. It's about to go down. Like, the fight is about to break out. That, like, domestic violence isn't funny, but just the fact that was the reason why we started watching it, and we finally got to see the backstory behind everything. It was just like, okay, we finna see it. We finna move on to AJ. I didn't really like the AJ storyline where he was robbing the convenience store and he just wasn't trying to accept the Greenleafs. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't really like that. Like, I understand people who were put up for adoption probably don't want to like accept all of that love at the same time. Like, they're probably like, you know, their trauma's telling them to look the other way. But, like, go rob a convenience store, like a pharmacy. I ain't like that. I ain't like that at all. And then that random storyline where they had like some body double take his place, and then he like died or something. Weird, just weird. Never explained, just weird. No, I just didn't like that storyline for AJ. And then I am glad that AJ got to bond with Bishop before he passed away. Before Bishop passed away, I think that was important that he was able to like make that bond, that connection, that the connection not just with Bishop, but with like the Greenleaf name, the Greenleaf family in general. You know, I mean, everyone in that family just wanted to be seen by Bishop, just to be like, you know, loved on by him. And for AJ to get that from him specifically, I think that was like that was very like good storytelling in that instance. Everything else, I don't really care for that. And for my favorite Greenleaf, like my favorite Greenleaf, Winky. Winky is my favorite Greenleaf, and he just needed more screen time. Like, he was the best Greenleaf. Yeah, yeah. I was sick of seeing everyone else on my screen. A lie, like maybe I still rock with Bishop. Like, you know, when Bishop had on his purple, me and Bishop was like this. Me, Bishop, and Winky, we was like this, y'all. Everyone else, nah. Slamming the laptop on that. I was not rocking with everyone else. Will I ever watch Greenleaf again? Probably not. What do I rate Greenleaf? I'm gonna give Greenleaf like a 7.5 because even though I actually hated that show, it had plot twists. It had, you know, the telenovela, you know, soapy storyline. So, you know, I should have, you know, looked at it from that standpoint where I should have known what I was getting myself into, but I genuinely didn't. I actually had no idea what I was going to be watching for the next few weeks. Yeah, I just don't have to listen to it again. I just like slipped my foot on the chair, but I just don't have to watch it again. 7.5 because, you know, there was some good acting for sure, you know, storytelling, but I listen, it kept black people employed for a long time, and it was a very big show, had a very big impact. It was just time that I watched it, you know. Sometimes you just have to watch a show you don't like, but you gotta support your people. You gotta support your people. So, y'all, I'm sorry for the late videos. Like, in terms of like, it's been a minute, but I'm gonna do better. I promise I'm gonna do better. I mean it for real this time. I have a whole bunch of stuff lined up for the end of the year. A whole bunch of stuff. Like, y'all just gotta believe. But on to the next video. See y'all on the flip side. Bye.